And we are back with Overwatch 2 for the British Esports season of 2022-2023. I am Wax and I'm joined by none other than the fabulous duo of Susie and Servitude. And what a first game we had. We loved it. We absolutely enjoyed seeing one of the titans of the British Esports Overwatch scene still showing us that they got it. We saw another team with a lot of potential starting to opening up the season and warming up slowly into what is Overwatch 2. But now, for the second game of the day, we have a couple of new faces on the stream for you.
Yeah, we've got no idea what to expect here. Some two completely new teams. No idea what kind of experience they've got. We don't know kind of what skill level they're playing at. I mean, Overwatch 2 is very difficult to gauge at now at the moment because I don't know where you've placed Susie, but I've placed it Plat 2, but I've only done some of my placements on support. So that's not my normal rank. Obviously, I'm much better than that.
Obviously.
Usually, yeah, obviously.
Some of my placements on support, he says.
But yeah, we've got no idea what to expect here. So we could see, you know, a new Titan being born in a new game today.
Susie.
Yeah.
I'm gonna actually bring it back to something that we used to talk about quite a lot in the last few seasons. Obviously, this is a new game, and it's probably the first time for all players playing Overwatch 2 in a competitive manner. But first time, new game, first time on stream, first time people watching you, first time you've ever, like anyone watching the British Esports stream might have heard of you. Is this pressure building up, especially after you have to follow what was a phenomenal game between the GCSLs and Langelo Dragons?
Yeah, I definitely think there's a lot of pressure there, you know, especially as being the first ever Overwatch 2 stream on the British Esports. The game's only been out a week. We've probably got people sitting in the chat right now who've never played Overwatch before, or they're very, very new to the game, and they just want to kind of see what's up. So Belfast and Kirklees here are going to be, you know, showing you how to play the game. That's a lot of pressure. But yeah, you just got to kind of think about it.
It is a lot of pressure, and I love these new team logos and names. The Belfast Met Buffaloes and KC Mystix. I mean, if you want to make a statement, that's a great way of starting right now. You have a hell of a logo, hell of a name. I'm really keen on finding out what these 10 players can bring to the board. But Servitude, we looked at the 3 maps already in the first series of the day. Do you think those were the maps most accessible or most expectable to be played already in a competitive game? Or do you think there's other maps in the pool currently that you think these two teams might opt for?
I think for the more inexperienced players, and then like Susie said, where we had Kings Row and Oasis, there's not that many Overwatch 2 maps to choose from. But they're kind of like consistent, regularly played Overwatch 1 maps. So people will feel a little bit more comfortable about knowing the corners, knowing where the choke points are, knowing where people could be sneakily hiding for a cheeky little gank or a cheeky little hiding collapsible spot. Whereas the push maps are a little more difficult because there's lots of different high grounds, lots of different places which people just haven't really got the experience in doing yet. So we'll see if we see any different maps in this next game, but I wouldn't be surprised if we similar type of map pool as we did, or map picks as we did in the last game.
For those of you at home unfamiliar with the Overwatch scene here at British Esports, I will tell you a little bit of insight. Susie, Servitude, Gihan, Puppy, and everybody else doing Overwatch, they usually every season tend to have a bit of a prediction contest, right? Is that correct, Susie?
Well, I won it last year, so yeah, definitely.
Our grand champion in predictions for Overwatch is Susie, but I was thinking today, not only are we going to predict the teams, which is our usual habit, but we're also going to add another member of the prediction team. So not a talent, so not one of us on the broadcast, Susie. I'm going to want you to add another column in your bracket for the viewers at home. So every single game with the predictions in chat, we are going to see what chat believes and see if by the end of the season, chat has predicted better than we have for Overwatch. Is that a good idea, Serv?
Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking at it now. And so far, chat is going for the Belfast Buffaloes because they have a really good logo and a really good name. But I'm going to have to go against the tide and be going for KC Mystix. So that's what I'm going to be predicting. Just to be the underdogs. Even though we don't even know how good they are right now.
That's okay, we're only doing predictions. Susie, who are you picking?
Yeah, like Sir says, we have no idea what either of these teams are capable of right now. But that Buffalo looks so angry. I can't bet against him. He looks like he's gonna swing his Reinhardt hammer and knock everybody out. Yeah, I want to go Buffaloes.
Ooh, I wanted to go Buffaloes, but I feel like I should even this out. So I'm going to take Mystix because I love their name. And, you know, if Susie, the champion, backs up the Buffaloes, maybe we can pull an upset and upset the champion. But with that in mind, let's talk about building a brand in the British esport community, because we go beyond the esport titles. We go beyond Overwatch, Overwatch 2, or the other games we have, beyond Rocket League, Valorant, and League of Legends. We here have schools and players and teachers and parents at home watching and contributing and being a part of our community. That's why we have come so far after these many seasons to have stable names such as we had the Landrillo Dragons and the GCS Owls. But now, with two new, basically unknown teams, what is a statement that you think they could make right now on stream for us to finally notice them and take them into account as their future esport career of the school is going to take place, Susie?
A big win would be a huge statement. Like a 3-0, a quick 3-0, doing something that just makes us go, wow. Huge plays from any player, individual players. If we are constantly saying a name of your player, like we were before with Mythical Mini, that's going to stand out, that's going to stick with us, and come to the final, if you're still in there, go, oh my god, I remember casting this person months ago, and they are still brilliant, and I love this college now.
Speaking of, the grand finals, that's something that we're still quite a far way now from the 2023 grand final servitude, especially with the new format. Again, new game. I feel like I sound like a broken record today. Everything here is new, especially with Overwatch 2. But let's break it down a bit more, if you are familiar with the new format servitude, for the people at home, to make them understand what the players here are actually competing for.
Yeah, so it's slightly different to previous years because we've had like a spring split and a winter split and then a spring split, and the winter split would put you into different divisions. So now it kind of made it a little bit more difficult because people who would join late or people who might hit Division 2 later on in the winter season might be maybe a little bit not too good, but may have just been misplaced. So we're trying a bit more of a Swiss format at the start, so people get to play different teams across different groups, and then you take your overall wins, which will then put you into your placements after that. But yeah, the format is for every game across every team, and they will play one game a week on a Wednesday or most times, and then they will be placed after that, and then they get to play into playoffs after the spring split, and then that will be leading to the grand finals depending on who is the best teams, the best 4 teams in each division. I had to think about that for a second.
And we have to mention, because you mentioned the 4 teams in each division, but that is because this season we have the North Division and the South Division, and then the best of the best, as you mentioned, Servitude, will come clashing down to find out who the actual best British esport team of the season is. And I don't know about you two, but I'm personally so hyped for all of these changes and so excited to see some of the best Overwatch 2, Valorant, League of Legends, and Rocket League, considering, like you mentioned, we have seen in the past years some unfortunate situation when we had a formidable team in Division 2 or even Division 3 that maybe should have played in the Division 1 Grand Finals. I think these changes are absolutely fantastic, and I hope that the new teams and the old teams alike will get to take advantage of this possibility of, like I said, building a name for themselves between us and for everybody within the British esport community. Now, Mystix versus Buffaloes. We've made our predictions. We talked about the maps, and obviously we've already went through the champions discussion earlier for the first map. We talked about the nerfs, and obviously the new changes to Overwatch 2. Now, I'm going to give you a few more minutes to discuss, and we'll start with Serve this time. I'll put you on the spot first. You mentioned, I think with Susie as well, after we watched the first game, that you would like to see some changes for some of the characters. Maybe you mentioned you think that the blade from Genji might be a bit OP at some point, or the passive. So looking at Overwatch 2, 6 months from now, what changes would you like to see Blizzard bring to the game, sir?
I think because they've changed so much, they had some time from the beta and they've made some of the changes, especially to Junker Queen, who was ridiculously overtuned, as Overwatch happens to overtune new heroes, which in a way I kind of get, because you want people to be able to play them, you want people to want to play them because they're going to be a strong pick. But at the same time, you don't want to make other heroes unviable in specific comps. So as long as they're adding heroes that just bring a different dynamic, which I think is what they're trying to do. You know, Kiriko is a very different type of playstyle. She is, like Susie said earlier, a support. She's not a healer. Yes, she can heal, but it's about blocking damage and going on flanks with some of your more flanky DPS rather than just sitting at the back like Anna might do. Even though she's not a healer, she's a support as well. But I think it's more about making sure that there's different types of playstyles that can still be played, like with Overwatch 1, where you had your typical Rein Zarya comps, you had your dive comps, you had your death balls. As long as they don't go back to the types of GOATS format, which we sort of saw in the Owl League over the summer with Junker Queen, as long as they try and avoid that, then I'll be happy, because you want to be able to just go, you know what, I fancy playing this hero this game, and I'm not going to get flamed for it. That's what you don't.
Susie, would you have any other changes you'd like to see? Something to add maybe to what Servitude says, or do you think he covered pretty much the main points?
Yeah, I think he covered the main points, but like you said, it would be nice if like all characters could be equal, if there was no meta, and literally if you wanted to pick that character would always be viable, you know, in whatever situation was happening. You know, there would be no, you must go that character, otherwise you don't stand a chance. It would be nice if all characters could be viable one day, but we know that's just not possible.
That is a dream that I think gamers, players, and esport competitors have had for many, many years across many games. But who knows? Maybe one day in the future, and maybe Overwatch 2 will take the right steps in, achieving this dream, Susie. But everybody at home, as you notice, we are still waiting for the second game to go underway, as we are currently experiencing a few minor technical difficulties. So we will send it to a short break, and we will be back with the first game between the Buffaloes from Belfast and Mystix.
I've been through heartaches, I've been to heaven. I've done my best and my worst, learned my lessons. No matter how hard my life would treat me, I'd always get right back up, never worry. 'Cause I got a million reasons to keep holding on. Yeah, I got all that it takes to win and overcome. What I got is just a feeling, but it's so strong. It goes on and on and on. There's something going on inside of me. I feel it growing stronger every beat. I never just believe in what I see, 'cause I
waxing here on the British Esports season with Overwatch 2, alongside Susie, Servitude, and one game that can change the future of British Esports forever. 2 new teams, a new game, and history to be written. KC Mystix, the Belfast Buffaloes, and we are almost underway. Servitude, Susie, can you give me some energy? Can we be hyped in this for the second series of the day?
I need to channel. Let's go for Gihan.
The inner Gihan. Woo! Let's go, team! I'm very excited. Come on, these are 2 teams we've not seen before. I'm really excited to watch them, and maybe get some new names in my head that I'm gonna be thinking, oh my god, that was so good. So yeah, I'm very excited to see them. Let's do it.
Yeah, we need some. We need some new Devilwood slash. Who else did we have from the last year or 2? Again, this is like the 3rd year.
Gallahorn and Devilwood are obviously the main duo.
Gallahorn was alright. I know he was in chat earlier. Yeah, Nutty Nanza.
Nutty Nanza. Great call. Great throwbacks right there. Hopefully, we will get to see them as players in the future at some point. I think some of them might still be down to play for British Esports. I'm not quite sure. But we have the first map pick from Belfast Buffaloes, and it is going to be the new Queen Street. And I think we don't have to wait any longer to see it, because the first game between the KC Mystix and the Belfast Buffaloes is now underway.
Alright, let's go. Back to Toronto, back to New Queen Street. Servitude, do you think we're going to see anything different this time that we didn't see last time?
I don't know, I just want to take in, the design of a map. It does look it's nice, doesn't it? If you're used to, whether you're used to Overwatch 1 or not, or this kind of style, just for the design of the trees look really cool. I love the new character skins. Anyway, different types of heroes. Like I said, we saw how strong D.Va was in the last map, so I'll be interested to see that. A lot of people running Lucio today. Yes, beats were really strong, and you want to be able to take the space quickly. But I'm quite interested we're not seeing a bit more of a mix. Like no Zen today. I'm a little bit sad about that.
Yeah. Lucio and Moira, so it looks like we're going for a bit of a rush comp on either side, but very different on the DPS and the tank lineup.
Yeah, Mystix is running the Genji, Quartz with the Junk. Junk is pretty strong at the moment. He's always kind of has been, but you've got to be careful of the mines and the Junk trap, because he can one-shot you if he, two-tap you, should I say, with a mine and a frag shot. So we need to be careful about the Junk. There's the spam coming in, 30% already.
Yeah, and that Genji, oh no, Leviathan just tunnels Genji down. And we've got some big damage coming up here. Jason's go down with that big hammer. I thought I felt some main tank energy going on today. Shield coming up, and I think they just need to back around the corner and regroup. They get sped into by that Lucio and everything taken away from them and further staggered. Oh, we've gone through a tree there. But it looks like they're going to try and take the fight to them, even though they might not be fully regrouped just yet. That Junkrat damage from Quartz, so powerful, taking down Chewy. Mr. Moss loses the mech on D.Va. Desperation Moira balls coming in, but I do think they just need... Oh, see, that's what happens if you don't back up. Yeah. Nasty little fire strike there from Leviathan. Swinging that hammer, getting everybody out his hub. There we go. Backing them up. We've got a coalescence coming on from Tanya now. Is that going to be enough to push everybody back? But we've got major uplift coming on Mystix here. Tonga has the base. Leviathan has that shatter. And they don't have a shield to defend themselves against.
No, Tanya needs to be careful, because with that coalescence, it's an easy target with the shatter.
Yeah, the beast comes out from Tonga there. Oh, the shatter comes out. It did find a couple. There's a little bit of follow-up. Not Perk and Tana goes down. Chewy goes down. Oh, Leviathan. That was a big shatter. And they are just about to take the second little tick point there. Oh, chasing Genji into the gym. Can't work his way out of that one. Ketchup Gamer finds him in that little tight space. With the Moira, very easy. Auto aim lock. Gotta love it.
Yeah, Mystix isn't really having the best of at the moment, so I'm not surprised about the swap. Reaper's not going to be too bad into his comp, actually. Just try not to be too frontliney, because if you're going to be having a Junk spamming you with frag launchers and mines, even with your lifesteal, you're not going to be lasting that long. But Quartz with the Junkrat tire. This is what you want to see, but gets taken out by Quartz.
Yeah, Quartz. Mystix tried to sneak around the back there. I think here comes a big Junkrat tire. If they're going to find anybody, no, got the mech. That's really good. That's basically one person down. Oh, the tag visor comes out from Whisper and it finds two. Oh, Hannah got caught in the Junkrat trap. And then there's a huge fire strike from Leviathan there. They're cleaning up shop. They only have a tiny little bit. This has been another really fast push.
Yeah, I mean, there's not too much other than the bomb. The beat's gonna pull a little bit more time out.
Beat there. Oh, and the Diva bomb comes out. It might not catch anyone. That shield coming up from Leviathan, protecting himself and the rest of the team behind him. Nice deflect there from Not Kurt. Gets Tom there. With the Lucio down, you can't really push. They might be able to hold this. Their spawn is so close. They are getting picked off one by one. Not Kurt desperately trying to survive there. Ooh. It doesn't go far enough. They are pushing and pushing slowly but surely. Definitely trying to hold on that point. Mr. must just get Whisper. Chewie goes down to Leviathan. Big hammer strike. I'm not sure they're going to be able to hold this, but they are actually taking their time. They have got time to regroup, given how close their spawn is. And they look like they are going to get pushed back a little bit.
Yeah, they've managed to hold on just long enough so far. I mean, it's not over yet, but they've managed to hold on long enough so that Belfast have been able to come back into this fight. But still, I mean, I'm not sure if I was just about to say... Yeah, I was going to say, not sure if Leviathan had even died up to that point. Just for immovable object that Ryan is. But yeah, the Genji Blade just to go, right, let's have enough. We need to reset. Let's try and gather our senses a little bit. We need to earn some progress on the robot now, because no, you can't really call it a cart, can you? It's so used to calling it a cart.
I think they call it Timmy. They call it Timmy in Overwatch League.
Timmy.
Yeah. Yeah, big fire strike taken down instead. And Not Kurt goes down to more damage coming in from that right hand. Oh, lovely shot! He's killing it on this red hub. Lucio tries to get away from him, but not quite high enough. And oh gosh, this is what you love to see when you're after big aggressive main tanks. This is what you want to see.
Tonga stole the 4K.
What a pin again! I know you can cancel that pin, but Leviathan don't want it. You don't need to.
I mean, again, like you were saying earlier, tanks aren't just tanks. You know, they do a hell of a lot of damage, and Ryan does a lot of damage when you can get up close. The swing still does, what, 60, 70 damage per swing? Fire Strike does 90 per hit.
Oh, the beat did come in there from Tonga, but he did get caught by the Diva Bomb as well. So he definitely trying to push everybody away from the point. Oh, Leviathan's point of view again. Let's watch him get people with that hammer. He got Chewie. Beautiful work. He's got the shatter as well, and it comes out. Oh! Being on the receiving end of that shatter as the viewer, that's nasty.
I mean, they've got really nothing to do, and they are just swiping that hammer around so much. They're building the ult up so quickly, but again, comes out with another blade.
It's Blade backed up by that Lucio beat as well. Only gets one this time, but taking down all that damage from Quartz coming out, that's a big hit. That Junkrat is going to be trying so much of the damage there. And they're actually holding this really well. It looks like a very one-sided battle at the start, but it's very, very backwards and forwards now for the Buffaloes. They're really holding on to it. I think they've kind of found their feet a little bit.
Yeah, Leviathan using that shield just to be able to trying to stop some of the damage you can get topped up because they're very low. But again, you know, back to 45% health and another shatter. It does go down though.
Yeah, Mystix and Tanya finally finds a little bit of a pick there. Oh, force of that Junkrat! Oh, the trap and the mines is so nasty.
Yeah, some big damage. Like I said, you can. The frag launcher does what? 80 damage per hit, and
too much.
The mines does 120. So like any squishy target, you can kind of two-tap, get both quite within close damage to each other. But yeah, the Lucio on KC Mystix just being a little bit of a pain as well.
Yeah, I hear the attack fires are coming out there from Whisper, and he's going to just chase them back around the corner. It's a very good zoning ultimate, that one. Even if you don't find anybody with it, you can always get them out of the way with it, because you've got to hide, otherwise you're going to die. Force have taken down the Demon Mech and Leviathan. Oh, he's on a roll again. Leviathan's back on it with that big hammer, taking everyone down. He does not care. Look at that kill feed. It's all him. Let's go Reinhardt, Leviathan.
And another shatter as well.
Really strong. Oh, I heard the shatter. I think it got the Diva. Kept up by the coalescence there from Tanner though. Keeping everyone alive. Desperation from the Moira. Force, oh, with a big Junkrat tire gets one. Oh, here comes another Genji Blaze from Knockkirk. He gets one, he gets two, he gets three. Oh, we're gonna hold it again. Oh, Knockkirk.
Oh!
Wow.
Wow.
Okay.
5k from
Okay, Knockkirk. This Genji is on point, okay? Every time he has that blade, he's winning the fight completely.
I haven't got chat open, but Ehan's got to be loving it. It's the problem, mate. They kind of get back to the original point. You know, Belfast Buffaloes haven't really got any progress at the moment. Leviathan switching up the ball. Interesting.
Oh, why? I like the Reinhardt. Well,
The Reinhardt play was big.
Yeah, Knockkirk takes down Tonga. It's a bit of an interesting one. I'm not quite sure why we have the ball now. Maybe it's like, you know, we haven't quite been able to finish it, so now we'll try something new.
Yeah.
We've got all this progress. We've got 124 metres to the one that Belfast has got at this point. So we've got time to play. 1 minute left remaining. But hang on, Belfast are pulling it back a little bit. Now they're in control, and now they're getting the kills. You know, a few pushes and they could probably take this.
Yeah, I may need this because, you know, if they lose that at any point, if they lose a fight now, there's only a minute left, and they've got a 2 or 3 fights to have to win to even equal the distance that Mystix have got. So they've got a lot of work in front of them, but Knockkirk is coming up to this blade again, which means this next fight could be an easy win.
Yeah, let's see where it goes. The mines come out, they find Chewie. Here comes the Knockkirk blade. Oh no! No kills that time. That's very unfortunate. And they only have about 25 seconds left, and Mystix back in command with that robot. They don't even need to push it. They could just push up and win the team fight here. They don't need to push the robot anymore. They've already won if Buffaloes don't come and take it.
Yeah, they were just going for a KDA there. I think Leviathan just wanted some more kills on the scoreboard.
Alright, one final fight coming up. Are they gonna touch? Yep, right, we're all in for this fight now. We don't have many ultimates online. The beacon's come out and it's gone, and we're chasing down Chewie on that Lucio. Knockkirk far away from that game-winning blade. There could be a big tire coming in from Quartz now, though. He's backing away into a corner to keep himself safe. A little bit of explosions coming left, right, and centre there. The mech is being lost on Mr. Moss. Got no big defensive tank there. Oh, Tanner finds Whisper though. Nice little pick. Oh, and Ketchup Gamer is pulling in. Oh, here comes the tire. It gets Chewie. Knockkirk though, on a roll again on that Genji. Desperation. He's doing it again. Big pick. And they are going to have one final attempt to get this to where it needs to be.
I think Belfast thought that was an easy dub there, where I'm just being careful because of the mines. They have to keep touching point. That's a very big mines there from Leviathan. Let's get Taylor.
Yeah, hopefully Taylor can get back.
Trying to not jump on one.
It's so difficult. You need to touch that robot, but at the same time, robot is lava with them mines on it. Knockkirk so close to that blade, though. That could be another winning fight. But his teammates are going down around him. So difficult.
Someone's going to need to stay on the robot, on Timmy, when he does get the blade.
Oh, here it comes the Knockkirk blade. He's going in. He finds one. Is that two? Going after the Junkrat. Oh, okay. That is a lost fight on Knockkirk there, but he did get two down. The rest of his team are going down around him, though. Tanner gets found out to a ball swing around, and it looks like, yeah, Mystix are going to take it. That was a good fight, though. That was not as one-sided as it looked on the progress meter there.
No, and I think that the Buffaloes were bringing that back every time, and won a couple of the fights when they were trying to push Timmy back. I mean, Knockkirk just bringing out some big blades. I think this is going to be the 5k. Just some big cleaves, extra speed, more damage. Getting trapped at the end. But I think that they just lost too many fights at the start to try and bring it back. So, you know, they had, like, even though they got it past the central point, it just took 2 or 3 fights that they would have to win to finish it off, and it was just a little bit too much there.
A bit too much indeed, but we talked about making a statement, and I think it's free to say both teams with a very close game, showing us, putting on a bit of a show, and I think if this is anything to go by, this series is just getting started, Susan.
Yeah, definitely. Like, it looked like it was going to be really one-sided at the beginning, but then Buffalo's like, no, well, we need to make our statement as well. And then they unleashed the Not Kirk Genji, and that is one takeaway I'm going to have from this game today. But yeah, they are in it. They are very plausible. There's 1-0, but this could be anything. This could be a 3-2. Wouldn't be shocked.
I think the writing's on the wall, and I think, as you said, that was such a close first map. I was expecting maybe one of the teams to run away with it much earlier, much quicker, and it seemed to be that way, but then no. It was all put into a hold, a bit of a change up, and then Mystix holding on to the advantage servitude as we will now be slowly moving towards map 2, which I believe will be Buffalo's map pick.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, I thought that it was going to be similar to the GCSL's map where KC Mystix were just winning fight after fight after capturing Timmy at the start of the round, and it looked like they were so close as well, and still looking like they were winning the fights, but Belfast managed to hold on and then start to turn around with the Genji plays, but just too much. I think it was just too big a hill to climb back after, but it was good. I wanted to see that. I didn't want it to be as one-sided as we saw in the last round.
Yeah, of course not, but we have the Buffalo Mets that are warming up slowly into this series, and Mystix as well, starting off slightly slow, but still in cruise control throughout the map, maybe shaking a bit towards the end. Is Mystix, well, Susie, you already mentioned one of the players standing out already, and that's your big takeaway from map number 1, but is there any other player on Mystix that you think might be able to replicate the same level of play in order to keep them in control as we move on to map 2 and map 3 later on?
From Mystic, Leviathan. He's Mystic, isn't he? Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that big Reinhardt energy, huge pins, huge fire strikes, huge shatters, huge everything. I definitely think their tank is one to watch for sure. And Quartz as well, that Junkrat, very cheeky, very well placed mines, that damage hitting everybody doing it. But yeah, they've got a really strong team on their hands for Mystix. We
often talk, Servitude, about how competitive esport at a high level is all about details. A team doing the small details right, and the other team maybe just taking some time to catch up to that. After watching that first game, what is something that you might have noticed in Buffalo's play style that you think they should look upon and try to rapidly improve before we move on with the series?
Yeah, although the Genji blades were big from Buffalo, I think on the initial push from KC Mystix, and they just kept getting caught out a little bit. It's very difficult to push in as a front line as a Genji unless you know exactly where you need to enter and exit the fight. And they just got caught a little bit in that side room 2 or 3 times. And I think it's what we kind of saw before in the last map, where if you're losing the fight or if the fight's lost, but you're still up 2 or 3 players, you need to pull back, because otherwise, like we saw in that fight, you're just going to be feeding the Rhine and the other supports and the other players just more ult charge, which is going to make that next fight more difficult. So I think with D.Va just needs to back up a little bit, just recoup and then try and contest before they got the next checkpoint. That may have given them a little bit of a better kind of chance to push back and then turn the tide earlier, which meant that the match itself, or that map itself, would have been not quite as a big an uphill struggle as it seemed to be towards the end of that one.
A bit of an insight right now for Mystix. Apparently, Leviathan is actually the sub of the team, which is something completely unexpected considering they have been the highlight players so far of this series. Imagine if Mystix can bring a player that's even better than Leviathan joining the roster. I think that's going to be a really scary prospect in the future. But speaking of the future, we now know that the second map, the Belfast Met pick, will be Kings Row. So, like we predicted, Servitude, similar map pool to the first series of the day. And I'm not going to ask you any other questions about who you think is going to take this, Susie, because map 2, Kings Row, is now underway.
All right, Kings Row, as we predicted, is everybody's
Susie, I
favourite
lost
map.
sound and I didn't know what was going on. Hopefully you can hear me.
I can hear you, yes, Servitude. Hopefully you can hear me too. Yeah, so Kings Row, here we go, guys. We all anticipated this would be the next map because it's everybody's favourite map. But we are going in and see what we find out from the teams here. You are with me now, Servitude, yeah?
Hope so.
Okay, I can hear you, yeah. It's all good.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if my connection dropped briefly there. Yeah, Kings Row, everybody's favourite. And we're going to be seeing a little bit more of Exaviphon just flexing again. So you'd be expecting a little bit of Ryan, and potentially for an attack as well, because he's so good at just taking that space. But as we saw from our last one, Orisa can be a little bit of a space taker herself, with a whole new, well, almost completely new rework to her, not just all of her abilities, but her basic shoot as well. Quartz, bit of a dance party, gotta love it.
So here's something I've just noticed, Servitude. Tanner and Mr. Moss have switched roles.
Oh, they have?
Yeah. Very interesting. Tanner clearly thinks that they can take on Leviathan's Reinhardt, and we're going to see if that's, well, it's Orisa now, but it was Reinhardt before. Big Hammer swings in, being kept alive by Mr. Moss now. The roles have been reversed. Tanner is really going in with this right and being kept alive so elegantly by that Moira. Big healing coming in. Oh, the trap comes out from Quartz. Somebody gets trapped in it and they didn't quite make it. Oh, it with those huge handle shots taking everybody down. Mystix aren't quite getting in this time, although they are backing Mr. Moss into a corner all on his own there. Ketchup Gamer finds them finally. Okay, maybe they are going to take it. It didn't look good for a moment, but they are taking it.
Yeah, it was very back and forth there. Sidixis got a few nice little cheeky left click fully charged arrow shots, but there's still time for Belfast to, if they're not going to contest the point now, at least hold this arch, which is a good place to take it by. You don't want to just be giving streets away for free like we had in the last one.
Yeah, like I said last time, you, as the attacking team, you want to try and push up as much as you can and take all that space, but they're not going to let them do it this time. They're going to hold them right at the bridge, pushing them back. And oh, here comes the Terror Surge, and again, it doesn't find anyone. I don't like that ultimate for Orisa. It's not great, but it did good enough to keep it. Oh, the slam came out from Tanner. I don't think it found anybody. If it did, there was not very much follow-up on it. I think Mystix might have just hit somebody in the head with it, Ketchup Gamer, when they were down from the charge. This is absolutely monarch Servitude. People are flying all over the place.
Yeah, there's some nice play there from Leviathan to keep Taina from just pushing in, but like we kind of saw with Leviathan in the first map, just being really aggressive, really in front of your face. And yeah, that last hammer down might not have been that big, but they're 80% now from a huge fire strike.
Oh, I can hear the tire coming in from Quartz. Oh, hear the Genji Blade. Oh, the tire finds Mr. Moss. Not Kirk finds one with the Genji Blade. Finds not Quartz. And it looks like they are going to start pushing in. Mystix are going to start pushing up, getting all that space that they need. Oh, there's a big hammer from Tanner coming in. No follow up on it though. Finds Whisper a bit. Leviathan in meanwhile finding everybody else though, and we are now finally moving 2.2. Good hold though.
Yeah, the Ryan into Orisa is, you know, in Overwatch 1 it was very different because the shield was such a big part of her kit, where when she dropped a shield you could just run past it and start swinging. It's very different now that she's much more brawly. She has more tools in her kit rather than just her Holt, which didn't do any damage. Now, you know, the spear does quite a nice knockback and a bit of damage. The spin just deflects a lot of damage, and the pushback, like there, interrupts the charge. Oh,
here comes some big dragons right on the point. You got to move out the way from it. We beat came out from Tonga there to try and save everybody a little bit. And Mystix with those big combo shots trying to find a little pick. Hannah got ketchup game right into the wall there with that charge, I think it was. And I'm not sure if we're going to see a take right now. There seems to be another good hold from Buffaloes with a little bit of a score advantage, I think, from this point for them. Ooh.
Yeah. Another shatter? Did that hit anybody?
Yeah.
I'm not too sure. There we
Hannah
go.
is getting the shatters thick and fast right now. Some very aggressive Rhine play coming out from Tana here. Maybe on a par with the aggressive Rhine play we saw from Leviathan on the previous map. Coming up, you know, if Buffaloes let this one slip, they probably... Oh, okay, here comes the Quad Tire. And it doesn't find anybody but not Kirk taking Quad down. That's one pick, and you can't really push in with that. Oh, here comes the Not Kirk blade. One. No. Okay, only one for Not Kirk. But one's enough to send them back to spawn, especially when the rest of the team are doing so much damage. And that is the push over.
Yeah, not the biggest blade, but it just did a lot. Set the team up quite a lot, and then the rest of the team just ran him down.
Alright, Leviathan. He's had enough of this Arissa now. Okay, we are gonna honour the time-honoured tradition of King's Row and do the Reinhardt thing. The only difference in teams we've got right now is our DPS lineup, so it's... Oh, okay, not Kirk goes out, so it's giving no Genji Blade for this one, not that we were anywhere near it anyway. But it's the speed up into the defending team. The Colossus comes out from Chewy. Oh, he gets picked out a bit by Leviathan. He is really angry on that Reinhardt now. We have a massive Ryan battle here, 1v1. It's beautiful to see hammers backwards and forwards. The beak comes out. Oh, and finally, Hannah goes down. Leviathan is the dominant Reinhardt in that fight.
Yeah, Mystix just has the spam advantage there, so not Kirk got caught out a little bit. It might have been a little bit of a combo between a Helix and a Junkrat mine. You can't really do much about that. You try and deflect them, but again, that's a lot of damage in the space of 0 seconds.
Oh, lovely pin there on this one from Leviathan. Getting very greedy, pushing him very high here. I'm not sure he's got his healing with him. Yeah, he goes down, but not before taking 3 people with him. Big plays from Leviathan here. Tonga getting rid of Tanner and not Kirk, and they are going to be able to push us all the way around the corner, maybe into final fight territory.
Yeah, Tonga getting a cheeky double towards the end of it. But yeah, like you said, maybe just being a little bit too aggressive. But they did cap a point, so it means that they're now pushing into point C, so we didn't get to see this in the last match. Pushing towards just that circular lit up zone where the Hanzo is standing right now. On the ground. They were standing, they're not anymore.
Another huge shout out from Leviathan. They're going to have to back up a little bit here. They are going down. Oh, however, Tanner might have got himself into a little bit of a position there. He's managed to get out alive. It's going to be interesting to see how we play. We've got a minute and 10 seconds left. It's not very much. We could hold it.
Yeah, but they saw, you know, that the healers were like, right, the rest of the team's down. We'll disengage. There's no point us staying there. We might as well just pull back. And then take another shatter.
Hannah on them shatters, just as good as Leviathan, getting everyone caught on with them off, but I think it is going to be another reset. They can't be fighting that point so close to the defensive spawn. It's just not worth it. Everyone just back around the corner and try and avoid that coalescence, but just get knocked hurt though. So Leviathan has lost his mech. It would now change to Diva, I just realised that. Reinhardt doesn't have a mech, that would have been really strange.
That would have been too much.
Oh my gosh.
Popping out with a mech. It's like Diva Egg. Super Diva Egg.
Oh, the remake kill! Leviathan got it! Oh, big defense here from the Buffaloes though. Tanner is going in with that backup. So good to watch. We've got 2 hugely powerful main tanks on our hands here. I have just lost my feed. I hope you guys can still see what's going on.
Not sure, but I've lost the feed as well. Hopefully we're coming back to the feed in a second.
Okay. Alright, we are back. It's a little bit fuzzy. Can't see it very well. Alright, we are good. Okay, we're now in overtime. Tanner's found Whisper and
Oh,
the
Chewy
remake kill again. Oh, the speed's gone a little bit, but we saw that remake kill. twice now we've seen that. Oh, you can't be getting caught by the remake kill, but it looks like we are going to hold.
I mean, close towards the end, but not, but you know, defendable. Defendable.
Yeah, it's winnable for both sides, really.
Yeah, you'll see that towards the end of that fight, we saw a very brawly, very back and forth, but it's always going to benefit the defending team. So there was a point where Tanner just pushed forward with a shatter and got an early pick at the same time as Quartz was dropping out the rip tire, which means it just has less impact because your team can't really push onto that as much as they could do, as they could have done if they still had 5 players on their team. So very back and forth, very brawly, but some big plays from Belfast that game. Tanner was just bringing out the Rhine, very difficult at the start, but just building up the shatter so quickly.
Yeah, Tanner every bit the Reinhardt that Leviathan was in the first map. But we might be seeing a Sigma coming out here. Interesting choice. We haven't seen him yet today. Not a lot has changed between him and Overwatch 1 and 2, though.
Yeah. Yeah, Sigma's very similar. Interesting to see the Sigma into Rhine. I think they're going to struggle a little bit. It depends what kind of damage they're going to have to keep the Rhine up. They need to spam the shield, because otherwise...
Oh!
Or do that.
Okay, that was a big Junkrat mine and a Myra ball. And that is 2 picks, so they can really just push in now. No, Kirk is not moving. Or is my feed... Oh, I think my feed is broken again. There we go. We're back.
Yeah, I thought the Genji was having a long think about which they should be picking, but...
Yeah. Alright, and we're pushing in again. Okay, so... Big nade. Okay. Alright, we are back. Well, Leviathan... Yeah, Leviathan doing a lot of damage on that Sigma, and he's actually doing a much better job than I thought they would.
Yeah, the problem is that close range Tanner and Mystix can do a hell of a lot of damage, and they are doing now. This is kind of turning it around. But if you're a Rhine player and you're getting spammed out with rockets, with mines, with junk frag launches, and you're not pushing up, then when your shield's gone, all you can do is swing, and that was a perfect opportunity for Tanner to chuck the nade down.
It just kind of like weird that they would go to a Sigma, knowing how powerful Leviathan has been on that Reinhardt though, and knowing that this is the Reinhardt map. What was Junkrat mine? So after, oh, here it goes. The knock! Oh my god! The knock blade finds 3 with like 1 swing. 4! The man is an absolute monster.
Are we gonna give him a 5k? Is a pesky Moira though?
Oh.
He got a 5. He got a 5k. He got a 5k.
Yeah, he got them all. Wow. Okay. Oh, a little consolation Junkrat tire coming in. A little bit
Potentially changing. I wouldn't be surprised to see him change. Although Quartz is having a big impact on the junk. Maybe just kind of disrupt him a little bit, giving him the opportunity to. Oh, they don't want to give up. They don't want to give up the archers at all.
No, they are going to fight them under the bridge if Leviathan caught Tanner. Oh, Chewy, was that Myra ball though? They are still just as annoying as I said before as they were in Overwatch 1. They just bounce around and they just tickle you to death. It's awful. Leviathan really going in with these Sigma rocks and with the balls and with the shields, knowing all that, utilising all that entire toolkit of that character. Tanner just needs to get in there and swing a hammer. Take them at close range with the fucking attack visor. It's not finding anyone as they're all very safely hanging around the corner. Big shatter in from Tanner, follow up with a coalescence, taking everyone down, pushing in with a beat as well. They are committing to this fight. They are going to get everyone, and they are going to take it to the end of the street phase, because you only ever really have one proper fight at the start of that, and once it's done, you get one proper fight at the end.
Yeah, everyone investing everything there. Mystix just wanted to keep hold of the archers so that it stopped them in their tracks, so they can just get this streets phase, which is probably one of the most difficult parts to really defend against. It was interesting to see Mr. Moss there, just standing in the open with about 45 HP. We're going to see some of a new Rhine tech? No, charges into a trap.
That was a bit greedy there, just charging right in, but trying to take space for the team there from Tana. Mr. Moss has gone down, so they are one down, so this is going to be a very tricky fight. Oh, Chewy's gone down as well. They currently have no support teams on Buffalo. Big shatter though.
Oh.
Maybe wouldn't have committed the shatter when you lost both of your support characters. Unless not
Thanks.
Kirk is gonna. Oh, okay. I was hoping we were gonna see the game-winning Genji Blade there, but not quite. Not that time.
And I think that was the best decision. Without a support with you, without anyone to deflect any of the damage, and you've just got a Moira just right-clicking. Yeah, you don't want that as a Genji.
Yeah, Tana committed that shatter though. I think they just got really into it and thought, you know what, I can totally do this. Oh, Junkrat Tire coming in. Everybody run and hide. Is it going to catch anyone? No. Okay, that's brilliant.
Chewy.
That's an ultimate that now they do not have for this big fight. They do still have their nano though. Who they would give that to? Maybe if that Zarya's charged up enough, perhaps? But that knock Kirk does have that knock Kirk blade to come in though, don't forget. And we've seen how good it is. Here it comes. 1. Yes, 1.5. Our feed's frozen again. We'll never know the true outcome of it.
We'll never know. We won't know if it was going to be another big blade or not.
I've got to assume he's probably got at least 2 of that. But yeah, I mean, they got 2 kills there. Ketchup Gamer and Quartz, so I think we are probably going to see them take this point.
Yeah, I would imagine so.
When we do see.
We might do. Oh, we're going to a little bit.
Do we have technical difficulties?
No, not technical difficulties.
I think we just might have run in yet another couple of technical difficulties. No, I think the stream can hear me. I think the stream can hear me. I think it was just for you and Susie. And I just said, I think we are running just an unfortunate couple of technical difficulties. That's how it happens when we have such a new game. Of course, it just comes with the territory as my background has turned into the cave of a horror movie. But it is Spooktober, so I guess I'm getting on with the kids. But yeah, we were probably only moments away from witnessing a KC Mystix victory anyway, Susie. What can you say about that? Do you think, are we going to see them winning, or is it the Buffaloes actually winning that one in the end?
I thought we were going to see Buffaloes win because that knock Kirk blade was coming in. So yeah, I thought they were going to take that one. They had like a good time bank as well to kind of push it over. Then with the added time bank of taking it, I think the Buffaloes were going to take that one.
Oh, and I think actually, sorry, my bad. Yes, you are correct. As the score right underneath us has been updated. Yes, the Buffaloes did take it. Unfortunately, we didn't get to see the end of that map, but Servitude. Now, the score is back to 1-1, and it's down to a single best of 3. These teams are pushing each other back and forth, and Kings Row was the Buffaloes' playground.
Yeah, I mean, it was quite tough on both defense and attack for Belfast. Running the Ryan into Orisa, I saw a few people in chat just saying, that was... It's not as what it was used to be like, whereas you could just walk over Orisa in a way as Ryan. You can't really do that anymore. She's got too much utility in her kit now, and makes her really annoying unless you really focus her down. But it just takes a little bit more coordination in making sure that everybody's focusing her down. So I think that was probably a little bit of a problem. And also the junk spam. The junk spam has been a problem on map 1 and on Kings Row as well. So I think that they'll probably stay on the junk as well. Depending on the map, Oasis might be a little bit more difficult to play the junk on, but we'll see.
Yeah, and now we talked about one of the players from Mystix that's shown in the first series, well, the first map, sorry. But now, Susie, the Buffaloes getting it back to 1-1. Was there someone on the Buffalo side that was a standout player for you?
It's going to be that switch up of Tana onto the tank. Previously on the support, I think you were on the Moira on the first round, but then going on the tank, a completely different role, and just as good as Leviathan was on the tank as well, going hit for hit on those Reinhardt. Woo! Brilliant! I love a good main tank fight. But yeah, so maybe they change it up again for map 3. Who knows?
Of course, and that's something that we might be a bit more custom in other esports titles, with that versatility of players running from both support to DPS to tank. But that's not something that we're usually used to seeing in Overwatch, are we, Servitude?
No, I mean we've seen it the odd time in the past, but not very much, because when you want to be hitting a high level in Overwatch, you really want just to have a smaller pool of heroes that you play. That's why you get, you know, specialist heroes, whether it's hit scans or specialist projectile players, or even just a single one or two, you know, Genji specialist in the eyes of like Sparkle, for example, in the Overwatch League, because they focus just on that hero and they know the real limits of and how far they can push that hero in each game, knowing when they're going to be the best played, knowing exactly how they can counter the enemy team. So if you're kind of switching around not just your role, but also the pool of heroes that you can play, it just spreads that kind of expertise out a little bit more. So it's a bit to become a master in it, but you know, you can still be a pretty decent player in multiple roles.
Yeah, of course, and obviously we are seeing it firsthand right now with Tana just doing this massive switch up that seems to have granted their team a new life coming into this series. And I'll be completely honest, I didn't know what to expect from the first Overwatch 2 games we'll have here on the British Esports stream, but this is something completely new. I don't think we get that often, especially at the higher level of Overwatch in the past few seasons for British Esports. So I like seeing the fact that the new teams have something new in their pocket and they're just pulling it off out of the bloom. First game, we're only in the first week. So the Belfast Buffaloes want to win this, and they're doing everything in their power to stop Mystix from, you know, taking them down. But we're almost, 1 minute away now from starting map number 3, and we are expecting to see maybe the same map as the previous series. No, KC Mystix opts to choose Ilios. Is that something that you might see favoring them, Susan?
If they've picked it, they probably have a good reason for that. It might be the one that is a little bit more rehearsed on, a little bit more, you know, they've got some tactic on there that they are ready to run. Might be that they can pick more comfortable characters. I think that one's a bit better for Junkrat than Oasis would be, which could be why they're thinking of that. Getting Quartz to do Junkrat things on that map for sure. That could be the plan.
Well, I think that might just be the plan. Hopefully you are right, because they had a solid performance on map 2 playing that way. But now, all of our questions will be answered as map 3 between the KC Mystix and the Belfast Buffaloes is underway. Susie, serve, take it away.
Yeah, so going into Ilios, so this is the other control map type. We saw Oasis, which is a best of 3 within itself, so it's kind of like a King of a Hill map type. Capture a single point, making sure that no enemies are on it when you're capturing it. Defend against the enemy team taking over it and standing on it long enough, just like any other King of a Hills. First to 100% wins. Best of 3, so there's 3 different maps, but all around the whole theme of, in this case, Ilios. And so this one we're going to be starting off with a bit of a mix. There is some boopable opportunities here, so I was kind of hoping to see the Orisa here, but maybe we'll see Orisa on the well, because I want to see a bit of an ult pull into the well.
Yeah, Leviathan opting for the Zarya on this one. And Quartz, no Junkrat. Oh, hang on, are we going to get a very early boop? That would have been nasty. But they're running straight to the point. They're not going to take the fight up on the top there, just running to point. You know, this is our point. We are going to defend it. And they ain't leaving it. Mystic are just sort of like surrounding them from every angle. I'm not sure there's too much focus going on there. Not Kirk slicing down with and Quartz. Oh, missed him up. Gets the boop on his counterpart Tonga, and the Buffaloes are going to pinch the point. The aggressive tactic worked.
Did, yeah. We just bring a shield, sit on point, and wait for them to come to you. I think that was difficult to push in. And we paused briefly again. No, we're fine. Switchbacks was running, I think, for Sombra very briefly at the start of that, but with the shield it's very difficult unless you're going to be playing from behind, which maybe they could have played a little bit more, but they're just going for junk spam.
Well, I've just noticed I've had a change up. Whisper is now on the Junkrat, not Quartz anymore. Not that it's going to make much of a difference. They've lost Tonga and Lucio. Alex is kind of popping his head out, taking his swing, then going back in to get healed. Very defensive tactics here. You usually see people take the fight to the phone a little bit more, take it up onto that higher ground. Oh, Leviathan with a big grab there, found both the support heroes with no healing coming out. That could be the end of that fight. The Tanner. Oh, the Not Kirk Blaze finds one, and they are going to hold up that point. Tonga sneaking around, trying to come back in for a little bit of support. It's not going to be enough. Oh, it's going to be enough.
Oh, they do, yeah, they do get enough.
Okay, Tonga, I see you.
Taking on go toe to toe with the tank, why not? As a Lucio,
Yeah.
trying to get some of those Reddit clips in the bag.
Nice one. Alright, so what we're going to see... Oh, Quarter's back on his Junkrat now. Okay, that's what we were expecting to see. We do have a big shatter coming in from Tanner, hopefully, and a beat from Mr. Moss. They might push him with that. Oh, Mr. Moss getting solo. Big shatter! That was absolutely huge with the follow-up. The beat came out from Tonga to keep everybody else alive. The last few who are standing there. It might be enough to win them the fight. It looks off Chewy. Leviathan taking the kills as well. More kills. Okay, they might actually hold if Tanner cannot defend it on their own. Doesn't get hold.
They were leaving Leviathan quite a long time there, but it still means you have to kill a Zarya with more health than she used to have and up to 2 bubbles on herself. So 60 charge is nothing to sniff at. You're going to be doing a bit of damage there, and well, Belfast realised that. A few ults coming up though, so we've got both coalescences coming up. I just wanted to say that Mr. Moss walking in on that point there was either the biggest brain play I'd ever seen. Just walk to point and then distract him while your Ryan got a shatter. And we're seeing 3 for 3 at the moment. Who's going to win this one?
Well, the Tanner is going in with Moira to back him up there, trying to take that point. He's only got a few wishes to contend with. I don't think Leviathan is there at all. They may just cap it, but they are still getting hounded by that soldier and that Lucio circling them like sharp. Right, with their gun down, maybe they should have backed away a little bit, but they didn't want to give it up that easily.
What's his tyre? Might be.
He's
might
thinking
be
about
big,
it. Here we go. Oh, take the long route. The scenic route. Oh! Not Kurt! So accurate on that Genji today. Interesting, everyone got grabbed. The beast came out a little bit late from Mr. Moss, I think, but it didn't work out in their favour. It looks like everybody's going down for the Buffaloes right now. Big coalescence finding everybody. Oh, that's not how you want to go. And they are going to retake the point, but with 78%, this could be a final fight.
Yeah, everybody used everything there, but Mystix still has a slight advantage of ults. So Belfast needs to get to point quickly. Mr. Moss might just do the standard default run to point like they did the last time. We'll see, or maybe they're going to try a little bit more strategic in this one. I mean, Tanner always has the opportunity to just walk to point like they did there.
Ooh,
big swings.
Big damage coming in. Yeah, absolutely huge damage. They are really focusing down Tanner though. You can just see the amount of damage they're putting into the Reinhardt. And it looks like Mystix are going to hold. They're definitely getting all the kills they need. Not Kirk, not with the life-saving blade that time. And they are all the time to get taken down. Mystix are going to take the first map. That was not one-sided at all.
No, it wasn't. That was very close. But again, just leaving Leviathan on Zarya. I'm not too sure why. Potentially because of the double bubble that you're worried about. And her personal double bubble, not a comp. We'll see if she changes it up at the moment, potentially going for the Diva. There was a lot of spam from Belfast, but maybe just because there's a little bit more high ground around the point. And going into the Rhine, that they might be thinking that Belfast is going to be bringing out, but it looks like we're going to be matching each other on the tanks. Not Kirk on the Widow. We haven't seen them play the Widow yet.
No, but we're getting a pharmacy on Mystix side, which is something we haven't seen. What that is probably going to be an issue with not Kirk on that Widowmaker if he is... Oh, he switched to Genji. He should have kept the Widowmaker for the pharmacy. Okay.
Yeah, Genji and Reaper. Pharmacy is just going to be quite open.
Somebody's probably going to have to switch if you want to take them down, because if you don't deal with the pharmacy, you are probably going to get killed pretty quickly. And you can just see that big damage boosted rockets coming in there. It can't be too much deal. But then if they stand on the point, they're just going to take it. They don't care. You know,
right, yeah.
Tara and Murphy are 2 people up in the sky and they're not on the point, so just take the point.
Okay, now they're doing some damage and getting them to run scared a little bit. There's the spam damage from the rockets.
That's what we were expecting to see. But the repair damage is actually coming in really heavy onto Leviathan and getting the neck out of him there. Knockirk is going to run away. He's going to escape, gets healed up. All he has to do. Nobody's thinking, oh, Tanner! Got the remake kill at Leviathan, the ultimate shame.
Someone's going to put out DPS, Diva diff in chat.
Knockirk is being so clean with those dash resets. You can see it in the kill feed, one after another. Very based on the Genji.
I'd expect Quartz to swap here. Or maybe not.
Yeah, even though they have not got a hit scan to take down the Pharah, they don't seem to care. Still doing it. Pushing in with Diva, we're very close to Diva Bam. Oh, Quartz is fine, Mr. Mosso. So that point would be flipped, being one down. Diva Bomb goes in. Is there going to be any defense? Oh, okay, guess what? Oh, Diva Bomb in reply. Oh, straight back out of the mess there for Leviathan. That's some like the right on right action we had before. We've now got the Diva on Diva action, and it looks like the Buffaloes are going to hold this point again, taking them down one by one.
I think Tanner got the revenge remake kill as well there.
Yeah. Okay, so these two tanks. Oh, we're coming on a ball now for Leviathan. Interesting. So this could be. Well, we need to get some progress on that pipe, and they need to touch as well. Alright, straight on with the wrecking ball, bumping everybody up in there, getting everyone down to low health, focusing one target down. It looks like they're going to try and focus Chewie, that main heal. The Kodak comes out, it's not enough. Both folks are now down on the side of Buffaloes, and it looks like the rest of the team are going to follow. There's going to be a point flip here, but there's still everything to play for. Oh!
Whoa,
wait!
No!
Hang on!
Someone had to touch.
Oh, shut up!
I think they're too worried about not touching. I don't think it's over.
All the ultimates getting thrown in there. That was a very amazing Diva Bomb, getting 3, but when Tanner was the only person left and they still had a couple, you know, especially that Pharah ultimate, it wasn't quite enough.
Yeah, if you keep an eye on the wrecking ball, more tanky than they used to be. Look, going up to not even getting max shields there, but going up to nearly 1300 personal health, including over health and armor underneath that as well. So you've got more than that in damage that you can take. Just crazy, very difficult to take down.
Yeah, I've noticed Knockirk has now switched back to the original pick of the Widowmaker. They've had enough of that Pharah. I'm not sure if he got the Pharah at all, but it doesn't matter. He got enough that the point was flipped, and now we are 1-1. We have got a fight on our hands right now.
1-1.
I've got to say, I'm liking the versatility of, especially Leviathan. It seems to play all the tanks. Is he going to show us a Roadhog now? We haven't seen that one yet.
Why not? Roadhog. I do think Roadhog's going to have a place once Kiriko comes out, because Sombra and Anna, who are the biggest counters for Roadhog, can just be cleansed with Kiriko. So I do think the Hog is a potential meta pick in the future, but we are on well, so both teams are running for Roadhog. And Quartz back on the junk with that spam, but yeah, the Roadhog, we saw a bit of a Diva matchup. Who's going to get the first hook?
Oh, could have missed the first two. Okay, I'm sure there'll be plenty more to come though, don't worry. We do have a Baptiste now from Ketchup Gamer, that immortality field keeping about 3 people alive then. Oh, Knockirk finds the Baptiste though. Mr. Moss found by those nasty little Junkrat mines. And we are now 5. Oh!
Oh
that's
no!
It. First blood goes to Leviathan in terms of the well battle. That hook is back for more. Okay, alright, looks like they are going to take the point. Just 1 more to find. 2 more to find. It's not Kirk though. He might have a blade. No, he doesn't this time.
Not yet, not yet. Next fight maybe.
Oh, Knockirk's not even on Genji now. What's going on?
Yeah, Knockirk's on the soldier this time. Yeah, just pumping some damage in. Just popping a Diva as well this time to try and eat some of that damage. And when they do get rid of the Python early on in that fight.
Yep. Leviathan down, your tank's down, and the rest of your team will probably follow. Whisper goes down as well. And now it's a case of pushing out those little squishies, pushing them away, getting them off the point, picking them off one by one. And you should be able to flip the point here. Yeah, they are staggering them a little bit as well. You know, they have to back away now. The point's being flipped. Oh! Leviathan says, actually, no, you come here. Oh, I noticed there. Yeah, Talon. Oh, hang on, not Kirk. Not Kirk, 3 with the visor there. 4 with the visor. Okay. Just as effective on the soldier as he was on the Genji, and then kills himself for good measure. Down the hole.
Yeah, gets for 5k in the end. Just for 5th run being himself. Or he's swapping it up, I would imagine. I'm not sure what two though, we'll see. Back to the Genji. We're going to be seeing
okay.
Genji.
Yeah, Mystix, this is the new thing with Overwatch as well. If you change character, you do get to keep a little bit of the ultimate charge that you previously had. So that is why there was sort of like no big issue with changing character there, but here comes the Diva Bomb. Immortality gets taken down. Oh, Chewie with the Coalescence finding Ketchup Gamer through the Immortality field, getting that down first. And Sid going over that repair, picking them off. It's a very successful hold there. And oh, did he just put 2 down the well? Did he just get a 3rd? Oh, Tonga! Tonga! Oh, you tell me you just got a 4th.
Oh, nearly.
Nearly, I think Genji managed to climb out of that, but wow. Environmental kill for days from Tonga. We are going to reflip the point back to Mystix.
Yeah, I thought that Mystix should have probably just and Leviathan should have just backed off there, but their presence and the respawns were closer, so it just meant not Kirk safely was like, no, I'm just going to wait for the rest of my team to push in here. And said, no point me trying to win. I haven't got my blade yet. I can't get a 5k yet. We'll wait.
Wait until I can have a 5k. Oh, Mr. Moss got this. That well is a magnet today. Everyone's going down the well. Oh, and there goes. Oh no, I think didn't quite have the boosters on cooldown, or was supposed to get demexed. I'm not sure.
Yep.
But it looks like this is probably going to be another hold for the Mystix. We are at 70% at least right now. We need to regroup. This might be the last opportunity they have to take this point back.
Yes, a nice strong comeback from Mystix on this round, but much more even this round as well versus the first map that we had.
Yeah, not Kirk does have the blade, but Mystix do have the beat as well, so it could be all for naught. They're gonna make a push soon though.
Yeah, Mystix have 4 ults coming up, so Taya.
Oh, Knockhout's gone down and Chewie's gone down as well. It looks like there's probably gonna, unless it's going to be some mad bomb.
Just got a lamp in time.
Yeah, another good bomb from Tanner, but it's not quite enough. And Mystix are going to take that round.
Oh, back and forth was that round. That was crazy.
This is a good fight. This is what you came to see, everyone.
Possibly the soldier.
Oh,
No.
environmental kills. They always win. Let's see how many boots they really got. 2 off
Gets
one boot.
Lucio and the Reaper.
And then the Moira.
And the Moira.
Okay, Tonga, calm down. I think the Genji to get booped as well, but I think he managed to climb out, or he just didn't quite get booped. But either way, huge enviros.
Nice. How you doing, Wax? It's getting a bit dark there.
I am cozying up in my vampire cave, as you can tell. You know, Vlad, Romanian, Halloween, it's all coming along together. But let's go past that. And KC Mystix, bringing them back. They're back in control after what was a really, really tight map 3. This time, Buffalo's pick. Was that Buffalo's pick? I think, actually, correct me if I'm wrong. I think that was Mystix pick. Sorry. So yet again, teams winning on their map pick. But I would say this time it wasn't as convincing as map 1, Susie.
Yeah, like map 1, the Mystics pushed it really far, but then Buffalo weren't going to be a walkover. I think if Buffalo had brought that fight right at the start, would have had such a back and forth on the first map as well. But the next 2 maps have been anyone's game. It's been a real good quality Overwatch match. It's not been one-sided at all, and I can't call how this is going to go anymore.
Yeah, so far it's smack bang in the middle with 2 maps to go. The Belfast Buffaloes need to win 2 back-to-back maps to win the series. So far, no team has managed to get 2 maps in a row, but if this is the one that, the Buffaloes want to have the victory, they want to they tick that box, first time on British Esports stream victory, they will have to change it up and be able to get maps 4 and 5 back. Surf, do you think that's going to happen, or do you think Mystix will have the upper hand?
I think, like Susie said, the teams, it seemed almost one-sided on the first map, but since then, even in that last round, it went 99 to 99, and that was very close across all of the maps, all of the rounds on Iliosphere. So I think it could go either way. I think Buffalo's got that hill to climb again, like they did in the first map, whereas KC Mystics just need one to finish. So that's going to be a little bit less pressure off of them. So I'm still going to probably put my voting onto Mystix, but Buffalo has shown that they can win a map, so they can still bring it back.
Well, I was just about to make my case about how the Buffaloes have less room for error. Yes, of course. So they can lose any map, and KC Mystics can lose a map but still win the series. It comes to my attention, I've been informed, and I don't know if Susie and Servitude have been informed, so I'll just inform everybody right now on stream. Ladies and gentlemen, our victory, our winners for the first stream, the Belfast Met Buffaloes, as KC Mystics have forfeited their lead in the series and forfeited the game.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yes, my prediction.
We talked about... Wait, so... I just realized I was thinking during that map 1 and obviously map 3, I was thinking, finally, we're going to dethrone Susie in her predictions. But I think your power is overwhelming, Susie. You just came through with the prediction of the century. And, we talked about how we want these two teams to make an impact, how we want them to have a match to remember. And as far as I'm concerned, in my last few British Esports seasons, I don't think I've ever had the pleasure of casting or hosting a game that ends in a forfeit after being up 2-1 halfway through. Serve, what do you have to say about that?
I mean, both teams are probably going to be disappointed that we didn't get to play it through. Belfast did have the lower hand in that they had a bigger climb, so they're probably going to be a little bit relieved. But KC Mystics are going to be having probably some mixed emotions right now. Probably going to, looking likely to win, at least in the score, and then have.
I think we are also experiencing some tech difficulties on Servitude's side, so tonight is very plentiful, and as of right now...
They were winning that round.
Oh, Serv is back with us.
A little bit.
Yeah, we were just saying that I think you cut off just for a split second there, but yes, Susie, on the back of what is a disappointing, maybe underwhelming, maybe confusing ending for the first Overwatch 2 evening, do you have... I'm not going to ask you MVP. I'm just going to ask you, do you have any final takeaways after watching what was, an evening full of 6 maps of Overwatch?
I am just so happy we are back now, because it's been a great day. We've had one game where it was completely one-sided, and then the Dragons completely came back to it. And I would have been fine with losing my prediction on this map, this matchup, because it was so backwards and forwards. I didn't care who won. It was just good quality Overwatch, and I was there for it, absolutely loving it. But yeah, I'm just gutted we couldn't watch the end. But yeah, some great players today. We've had some great players. There are some names that are going to stick in my head, and if we see them later down the road, in future games in the playoffs and whatever, and the matches, I'll be looking out for them, definitely.
I would have to agree. I think all of the teams we've seen today, all 4 of the teams to beat Drilo Dragons, UCS Owls, the Belfast Met, or KC Mystics, all prove that Overwatch 2 is their game, and they're good at it. And unable to show us all the way until the end that the last 2 teams would... I think this would have went 5 maps. I think we would have been here for yet another another 30-40 minutes of fabulous Overwatch 2. Serve, do you have any final takeaways?
Yep.
Servitude is not connected on vMix as of right now, so I can just tell you what Servitude was saying, and I think he meant to say that this is a beginning, a new era for Overwatch, and obviously a new beginning for British esports with Overwatch, and he's very excited about it. Is that right, Serv? Yes, he said yes. He confirmed that he's very excited for what is next to come. But speaking of what is next to come, before we segue into the future few weeks here on the British Esports Twitch channel, I would like to offer a massive shout out to our production team behind the scenes today. We had the amazing Tricks, obviously the fabulous Observer, whose name I know, but can you help me here, Susie? What's our
Jake
Observer?
Anata. Jake.
Thank you so much. I'm so sorry, Jake. And then obviously our admins in the chat, we had Elliot and our fabulous Observer for Valorant. Susie, you are one of our formidable captains. And I want to give you and Servitude a massive shout outs. Ask you if you have any final things you'd like to say to the stream.
Of course, big thank you to you as well, Waxon, for your very energetic and wonderful hosting and your very creepy shadow that's been freaking out everybody in chat. But yeah, thank you everyone for watching as well. First Overwatch game of the season. I cannot wait to see what the rest of it brings. I'm so excited to be here, and thank you all for watching, and thank you to the production staff, and thank you to Servitude. Oh, he moved.
I am here.
Hey.
I am. Yeah, I rebooted. I'm here.
He's alive! Servitude, do you have any final shout outs you'd like to make?
No, yeah, I mean, like you said earlier, that it's a brand new game, so we had some technical difficulties. But if you haven't played Overwatch yet, it's free to play now, so there's no reason why you shouldn't play it. Yes, it's a new release game, and there's still going to be a couple of bugs which are going to be fixed, but it's a great game to play. So join us. We might see you in quick play or competitive, even maybe.
Thank you so much to Servitude and Susie. You can find both of them at their Twitter handles underneath. You can look for talent in chat. Go and give them a follow, a subscribe. Follow Susie on TikTok. She posts lots of TikTok Overwatch content, and it's absolutely fabulous. As for British esports, well, this is it for Overwatch 2, and this is gonna be a little break for Student Champs on Wednesday for the next 3 weeks due to half term. But we will return on the 9th of November at 4 p.m. on Wednesday with the first League of Legends stream part of the season for 2022-2023. That doesn't mean that British esports is going to be sleeping. No, we are not. Because this weekend, Saturday and Sunday, we will be bringing you some phenomenal international qualifiers for Dota 2. And let me just tell you a little secret. I heard that yours truly is going to be on the mic, so you're not going to want to miss that out. I was your host, Waxon. It was my pleasure to be here with you today. Thank you so much to everybody at British Esports. Have a nice evening, and never forget to stay hydrated.